Hello guys, boys and girls, and this is going to be a brief history of Fallen SMP. So if you're interested, grab your snacks, sit back, but before we can do that, we have to teach you how to apply for Fallen SMP. If you're interested for applying for Fallen SMP, all you have to do is click the link down below, fill out all the questions with multiple paragraphs, and then click submit. We will contact you in 3 to 4 days. If you have been not contacted in that time, assume you were denied. We will not contact you if you were denied, and then you can reapply in 1 week. So first off, guys, I would just like to give a big happy birthday to Fallen SMP. It is the 21st, and it is 6 years of Fallen SMP. 6 years ago, today, I was in the intro of Fallen SMP, and I am going to tell you guys how Fallen SMP started, what created it, and how it got to what it is today. I know I'm going to leave some parts out, and I know I'm going to miss some things, but I'm only going to talk about the key points that made Fallen what it is today. We're going to go mining, so if you guys want to just put this in the background, or you guys want to mine yourselves, or just grab a snack and sit back and listen to the story of Fallen for those who haven't heard all of this, well, sit back and enjoy. So we're going to head down to the mine, and I'm going to mine while I do that because I thought that was kind of the best thing to do while we do this. Kind of just going to be a talking head video. So for those who don't know, we're going to go back 7 years actually. 1 year before Fallen SMP was created or more. I myself was a pretty lonely high school student, and I wanted to escape my loneliness by creating a community or an SMP kind of like Hermitcraft, because I watched quite a bit of Hermitcraft back then. I was a big fan of them, and I said, hey, I would love to have a community like that. Wouldn't it be so cool? And I was like, you know what? I can do it. I'll create my own community. So I created Mika and Fortuna SMP. Both of those SMPs were my own, and I was trying to run them, and it just didn't go well. I wasn't equipped. I didn't know what I was doing, and there was a lot of toxicity. It wasn't what it was now too with Minecraft. Minecraft was a whole different landscape back then, and a whole different community type thing back then to what it is even now. And I just thought, you know what, maybe owning SMPs isn't for me. Maybe this thing of owning these SMPs doesn't work. So I thought, hey, what can I do that does work? I can join another SMP. So I made a video saying, hey, I'm looking for an SMP, because I had a decent sized YouTube channel at that point. And I eventually joined this Coherent SMP. It was okay, it was fun. I just didn't like that I wasn't the owner, basically, because there's a lot of things that I saw that could be done better, or that I saw that were going wrong and, just not to my liking. So I thought, hey, I'll make another, I quit for a while, and then I made another video saying, hey, I'm looking for an SMP again, because I thought, okay, maybe maybe I'll find someone who's a better owner. This person named Hey Luigi found me at the time and said, hey, do you want to join this SMP I'm playing in? So I joined, and we played, and we based, and we hung out for a couple of days online playing that server, and then all of a sudden that server got shut down. So it was going to a public SMP or a public server, and everything was resetting, and me and Luigi were like, dang, now we got to go find a new home or a new place. And we did. We found Fallen. Luigi actually applied to Fallen, got in. At the time, Fallen SMP was an SMP that I did not own. So he got me in without applying because he applied. He asked the owner at the time, Blue Jays. So 6 years ago today, me and Luigi stood there at the intro with everybody else, and we introduced ourselves. Blue Jay 20 was the owner at the time of Fallen, and his co-owner was Jacob. So over the time, me and Luigi were grinding, we were working on spawn, we were setting up an awesome community and doing a lot of the bulk work. And every time the co-owner would come in, he'd spawn stuff in. I remember he spawned all the stuff in so Luigi could make Mumbo Jumbo's famous mob spawner farm, and I just got kind of tired of it. It was ruining my experience, well, the way I thought SMP should be run. And so I kept telling the owner, Blue Jay 20 or Brendan, that, hey man, we gotta get rid of this dude. We gotta get rid of this dude. Eventually he got rid of him. It took a little bit of convincing, but eventually he got rid of the dude. And over time, I was able to convince him that I should be co-owner and that I should have console because of all the people I was recruiting for the SMP with my videos, and basically all the work I was doing. So during that time, All Brendan did was pay for it. I did most of the recruiting for people, making the videos, accepting them, making sure the community was running fine, all that good stuff. But over time, Brendan would come in and he'd be like, hey, I can do whatever I want. He would follow none of the rules that we set up that kept everything organized. Basically, hey, I paid for the server. You can't do anything about it. And at the time, it was honestly true because, yeah, he did pay for the server. So the community came to me and said, hey, Blue. And I said, hi. We are going to leave. And I was like, wait, you guys are going to leave? And they're like, listen, man, we're tired of how he's treating us. We see that you are actually putting in work. We want you to pay for the server, and we want to leave, or we're just going to leave you alone. And I thought, man, I spent all this time. Let's do it. So at the time, I did not want to take the Fallen name because I had enough respect for the person at the time that I was like, you know what? Maybe once we leave, he'll want to use that. So we created Island SMP. This is actually Island SMP was when JC joined. JC, if you guys don't know, is our district coordinator. He joined an Island SMP. And we did it. And basically, we had one season of that, and then we named it back to Burning Frost, which is another SMP of mine, because a lot of people said, hey, we missed the old Burning Frost. Let's bring it back. We tried to bring it back. It really didn't work. I have a couple videos up on my channel of it. It was kind of fun. We had a base. I based with JC, actually. And no, JC based near us. False. But it was fun. It didn't really work. And I took a break and then came back and saw that Fallen had not restarted. And I knew that was a good name for branding for the SMP. Well, just for naming the SMP and getting videos out. I knew people liked the ring of it. So I said, I'm going to take that back. And that's when season 2 of Fallen SMP started. If you go back on the channel, you'll see there's a season 1, and then there's a season of my channel. There's a season 2. And that season was honestly really, really fun. We did a lot of terraforming, a lot of work to it. And we built on and started growing members. Season 6 to 2 was really rough. I don't remember a lot from it, but I just remember a lot of building the SMP up, tearing it down, and building it back up again. At the time, I remember I had a few co-owners, but mostly those co-owners were just there if I wasn't there. I was doing the bulk of the work, doing all the promoting for the server, doing all the events. I was bringing in people in, doing the applications. Everything was done by me personally. There was really honestly no staff like we have today. So fast forward a little bit, we had to switch hosts because one of my hosts scammed me. I remember paying them, and then they said, oh, you never paid us. So I paid them again, and I said, hey, can you refund the other payment I did because your system's messed up? They never got back to me. I had to call PayPal. I had to, do all the stuff to get my money back. It was funny. It was not fun. But the reason I bring up season 6 as I kind of skipped through everything up to season 6, up to season 7, is because season 7 was, once we got everything figured out and we got on a nice host, season 7 was probably, I remember back then saying, oh my gosh, guys, season 7 is like the golden age of the bronze age of Fallen SMP. We will never see anything like this again because we were extremely active. We had so many people on. We had about the activeness we had now. And I was like, man, everything's going great. But season 7 was one of the most toxic and learning seasons for me because of how groups and how people interacted and how to deal with toxicity in the community and how to set up rules that keep the community and the expectations to keep people from that entering the community and ruining it like that. I spent long nights. I remember I woke up at 2 or 3 one time to deal with a dispute at the time. And I just remember eventually people were like, hey, this server is way too toxic, man. We're seceding. And at the time, people decided to leave or exit the SMP at the time, which really affected me. I took it personally as like, wow, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm failing. And a lot of staff members. So we had a few staff members at that point. I don't remember how many we have. I think we had like a co-owner and maybe a Twitter runner, and that was pretty much it. And I decided at the time, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. But luckily, Game and Yes Nobody were there because I had to, move. A lot of the staff left, a lot of the SMP members left. They were there, and we decided, hey, let's do this together, guys. We're gonna rebuild Fallen, and we're gonna build it better than it was before, and we're gonna figure out what went wrong. And luckily, thanks to those guys, we together, us three, we were able to build Fallen back up to succeed, to basically be what it is today. And without them, I don't think we would have got that far. I don't think I would have restarted it, because doing it alone again, because at that time that was my fourth or fifth time tearing down Fallen and rebuilding it from scratch, and I was getting to the point where it's like, this is like too much energy. This sucks. I don't want to do this. But together, we built something that stands now. In the seasons to come, we used custom world gen, which was actually really fun. I think this might have been a previous season, maybe season 6, or later, maybe 6.5. I know we used custom world gen, which was really fun in one of the seasons. One of the seasons was only 1 day, I remember, because we tried to use custom world gen down the line for another season, and we only could use it for 1 day because there was only 3 biomes, and the biomes were to repeat over and over and over again so many times, and people were just like, this isn't fun, there's no ores, we need to reset this. So we reset it, and we tried again with just a plain world. Another thing that happened was one of the seasons, we had a drive, so we weren't on our own personal hosts yet. We had the drive overload, and it started corrupting chunks and pasting them where they weren't supposed to be, and people spent hours of work. I remember I was like, we gotta restart, and people were so triggered. Okay, so now we're gonna fast forward to season 13, and season 13 is when I started to get staff members that we have now, and we started setting up the staff structure. So back then, this was like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Back then, we had staff members, so we had like people who would do different tasks, people who did applications, but we didn't have the full nice team that we have now. And around a year ago, things started happening for Fallen SMP. For example, Rem, who is the person who is working on the website right now, Rem decided to start doing these news things as a joke. He made it originally as a joke, as, hey, this is Fallen News, haha, in front of his blue wall. But what happened was I picked him up and I was like, hey, I want you to do that every week. And he said, sure, I'll do it. And we started every week producing an episode on the channel. At the time, whether I knew it or not, I didn't want the ability of people finding the SMP and applying to the SMP being all through me. Because back then, about 90% of the people who came to apply or came into the SMP were because they watched my stream or they saw a recorded video from me. And I was like, this is getting tedious. We need to redesign this. And I thought, hey, and with Rem coming in and saying, hey, we're going to do the news, I thought that was a majorly good idea to grow the SMP and be different from other things. So we started to grow the staff team and the media team, and people started to take their jobs a lot more serious. With the help of Alex, we started the TikTok, and that inadvertently grew the YouTube and launched it into almost what it is today. The YouTube already had subscribers, but the TikTok really, really brought us new people and got us a viewer base that could get us in the algorithm, which was really awesome. 90% of applications, I would say now, come from our own social medias. During this time, we were building Fallen Media during this time while we were building the media server, there was a dip in activeness. So this was around a year ago. People remember that there was a pandemic outside. So during this time, a lot of activeness had taken a hit. People weren't interested in the server. The server was pretty honestly dead. And the reason for that was just, the world was old. It was getting 6 months old. People were getting bored. But Minecraft was getting a boost. Minecraft started boosting out of nowhere, where it started getting, where it started trending again because people, remembered Minecraft. And it was honestly at the point where a lot of people who had left Minecraft decided to come back. And there was a surge of Minecraft stuff, and the COVID stuff was happening. And we as a staff team decided it's time to reset the server. And when we reset the server, boom, activeness was insane. It reinvigorated Fallen. As well as during that time, we got a lot of staff members who were perfect for their role, like Kay, who's perfect on applications. Alex came in for media. David locked into his role as interview person, even though he was a media head role. It really wasn't right for him. The interview was a lot more up his alley. And Camizo locking into events, all of these guys getting into their roles and locking in to just be specialized in these roles really boosted Fallen SMP where it could run a lot more efficiently than it had before. Now, this is all stuff that was happening over a year to 2 years. So I am fast tracking it, but I would have to spend an hour explaining every little detail. So these things were all happening within months of each other, and it was kind of just all, in a way, locking into place. So the pandemic was also kind of a curse for a lot of people, but for Fallen, in a way, it was kind of a blessing because it changed the server and made it a lot more active. I myself also got a lot more involved in the server and its processes. Somewhere along the line here as well, thanks to Fallen Dev, we also became our own host. By becoming our own host, we were able to get like different custom themes for Minecraft and make our server a lot better, so we could handle more people, so we could be more active, so we could take on the player base and not have a problem, as well as have a lot more control over what happens on the back end that you guys don't see. So it was really awesome, thanks to Fallen Dev and thanks to our server host, that we were able to set up an awesome server that can handle a lot of people. Since then, we've been growing at an insane rate. Our YouTube has been growing at really decently. We've got our own website now, thanks to Rem, who's been developing that. Back in the day, we used to have a Wix website. It was nice and it was run by Game, but it just wasn't what it could be. It's just different, you know. It just wasn't as nice. But now we can have our own domain, for example. It's a lot more custom, it's a lot more personal, it's a lot more, Fallen SMP. Also now we can have an active modded server. If for some people who don't know, we have been trying to run a modded server and failing for the last 4 years just because of activeness. We haven't found the round pack, we haven't found the right people, but now the modded team is perfect. It's run by MG and it's going really, really well. So 4 years it took us to get an active, decently active, smooth modded server, and now I can officially say that we have one. So now we can move into the present, and I can talk about the present a little bit. Some of the stuff that we are working on now is some big website stuff that's coming up, and some other items that I cannot talk about. So you guys should definitely be prepared and be looking out for those kind of stuff. The other thing I want to say is I want to thank all the people and all the members we've lost, and the ones who have come back and the ones who have stayed. I've gained a lot of friends from Fallen SMP, and I've lost some friends through it. And I wish those lost friends well, and I thank Fallen for helping me during some really dark times. But I also hope that it can do it for you. I've seen how Fallen has impacted just the SMP like genre as well, and I've seen how it has impacted people with new relationship, with new friendships, and I am just amazed. Now, I'm sure I missed some stuff, and if you guys want any clarification on anything, I can go down to the comments. But like I said, I made some notes here of some stuff that I wanted to look at, and that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this brief kind of rambly history, and have a good day.